What is up, everybody? Welcome to another live Pin to Gas podcast. And this episode is brought to you by Bison. So, are you a track day rider, a street rider, even a racer? Don't buy an off the rack suit when you can get a full custom suit from Bison. You can get the gloves, the undersuit, the chest protector, the whole 9 yards. The most amazing, beautiful people you're ever going to meet in your life. And their products are just unbeatable. I mean, look at all the riders they support already in Moto America. So big shout out to Bison. But anyway, you guys, you can use your discount code Pin to Gas 2024 and get 10% off anything at Bison's, hats, t-shirts, anything. But listen, this is an absolute honor to have my man Jake Marsh back on the podcast. Everybody knows I give Jake and R&D Racing a big shout out basically since we met. And it's an absolute honor. I believe in Jake. He's an up and coming legend. His team is just amazing. The people that are behind it are proper mega, right? The best in the world. And BSB Barmy Army, the Clothing Kings. Listen, I love all you guys. You guys are just proper mega. Really is. But Jake, bro, it's so good to see you again, man. How you been?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Yourself?
Oh man, I've been good, man. Been really busy. I'm actually going out to Road America this coming up weekend, so I can't wait, man. So I get to go hang out with all my peoples in Moto America. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Get finally measured for my suit because that's the only thing I'm waiting on. I actually had a video chat today to do it, but this deal me going to Road America just kind of come up and came to fruition, right? So but they can do it there, so I'd rather them just measure me than besides doing it on video, right?
Yeah, much better that.
Then I didn't mess it up, right? And I get one arm's bigger than the other arm, and walking around looking kind of crazy.
Yeah, I've had that a couple of times. Mine's like my arms are just like I can't move them a bit higher than that. My legs won't move or nothing.
I will figure it out, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, so listen, man, it's an absolute honor to be here. I keep saying that, dude, because it is. But Jake, dude, there's I want to talk about, everybody knows your story, how you got into it, and all that. So let's recap 2023 season, right? So we'll start at the beginning round. So when you showed up in 2023, did you have any big expectations going into that season, or was it just like, I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna have fun, and see where the pieces may fall?
Well, my dad's expectations obviously is like we need to be full focus and like just like see where we're at for the first one. And obviously me being a rider, I'm just really like telling everyone, oh, I'm gonna smash it, I'm gonna be doing this, gonna be doing that, oh, I'm gonna be winning, all this and that. But it's so much different to club racing. Like the level from club racing to BSB is just unreal. So when I went there, I really struggled. But bear in mind, we'd not long built the bike, and we'd only done like a day on the bike or so, and we had the wrong suspension in and everything, and it just didn't work properly at all. So yeah, we really struggled at that first round. We didn't qualify. We didn't qualify for the first couple of rounds due to no experience and brand new bike, everything. We just didn't have enough time on it. But yeah, I was just a bit big headed with myself at the start of the season, and then I got to a point where it hit me, and I was like, I really need to just chill out a bit and stop trying so hard to try and qualify. It's just let it come to me naturally, and it eventually did in the end.
Absolutely, it did, right? So it's when you show up, and I've talked about this. It's like that in Moto America when they come from club racing, right? And riders are doing good, and they get their 100 points because out here in America, in order to get your qualified to get in Moto America at club level, you got to be an expert, and you got to win. You got to accumulate enough to where you get 100 points, right? Once you get 100 points, then you get your license, and then now you're in Moto America, right? But
yeah.
The whole structure, it's completely different than club racing. It's a proper structure. It's time. Like you got a certain window to take your tires to the guys that change it. You just can't do it whenever you want to. Everything is well structured, and it's different, right? The mentality has to change when you're going to swim with the sharks, right? I mean, and to me, that's the biggest challenge for your legends as yourself is getting that mindset right, right? And just being like,
Yep.
you know what, I'm just gonna ride. I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna have fun. And the next thing you know, you're qualifying. You're up there,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah,
comes.
that's a big thing for me. Mindset is a big thing. Like when I'm just out of it, just angry and stressed, I'm so bad, but not so bad. I really I'm trying to be aggressive on the bike when I shouldn't be. You just got to be smooth and stuff. And then when I'm aggressive, then I end up crashing, and then I'm just all over the place. When I'm happy, I ride my best. I'm happy. I have a clear mind, and I just go out and have fun, and I just always end up riding better. It's just how it works.
Facts, 110% it does. And listen, man, we got some comments coming in already. Of course, we got my man Daniel Parker in the house. Daniel, nothing but love. Mate, dude, I miss you. I don't know why my little heart thing ain't working now. Anyway, but there it is, right? It bothers me it's not working, but Daniel Parker, mate, what is up? Absolute. And then Chris Lewis, man, out there, dude, what is going on, Chris? How you doing? He actually has a question. He says, "How's it going? I was at Donington last week, and it was an absolute amazing experience as always." Nice. And then of course we got BSB Barmy Army up in the house. How are you, bro? How you doing, my man?
The
It's
legend
awesome.
himself.
Dude, absolutely. BSB Barmy Army, Shane Farrow, he's been on the podcast. Go back, listen to the episode. I'm in the thing now, Jake, where you see I've been learning how to create shorts, right? So,
Yeah,
dude, I've been going through all this, been so excited. I was like, I'm gonna pick one from this one, boom, short. Pick one from this one, boom, short, right? But there's a limit I can do every day because of stupid old TikTok. But yeah,
yeah. I've seen your TikToks, mate. Don't you worry. I've been watching them.
it's awesome, man. And listen, we have another comment, absolute legend himself, Peter. He says, "I know I'm his dad, but this kid don't give himself enough credit. He didn't qualify for the first few rounds yet. He never gave up or got down and just kept coming back for more. The absolute legend, and that's exactly how you got to be, right?
Yeah,
It's Jake. I'm so proud of you, man. Because 2023, I watched it. I've been watching 2024 because I'm a huge fan. I tell everybody,
yeah,
and it's BritishSuperbike.com. Don't miss one of the greatest shows on earth. Just like the TT's going on, right? I don't know what everybody's doing, man. Like besides watching this podcast, but after this, you got to go watch the TT. It's been going on. I've been glued to my phone pretty much all morning. No lie. So yes, let's go. Right. So once you started qualifying in the GP2 class, for those that don't know, Jake rode in British Superbikes in a class they call it the GP2 class, and they race alongside other 600s too as well. And we touched on the differences on a couple previous podcasts we did,
yeah.
and but so once you started to get that confidence, did you find it personally a lot easier now that you had that weight off your shoulder, knowing?
Well, there's always that. There was always that thought in the back of your head where it's like for example, I went to Knock Hill in Scotland, and it was like, well, this is a track I've never been to in my life, and I've never even dreamed of being here or nothing. And it's like, am I actually going to qualify here? And I think, was that the first round I qualified? I think that might have been the first round I qualified, but I didn't finish a race because the first race I just had a random crash where the front just lost all grip, and it was just, I don't know, still don't know to this day why I crashed at that time. And the second one, I just had a first lap, and yeah, first lap crash where I had to try and avoid someone. I ended up grabbing the brakes too hard and going over the front. But yeah, that the thought of the not qualifying was always there, but I always had the confidence. You just got to have the self belief to be able to say I'm going to qualify, just just say, well, the main thing is I come back smiling, as my dad always says. He just says all the time, smile in your helmet, and that's all I do. I mean, you never really don't see me smiling, I think.
But in your helmet, right? So we need to put a little helmet cam in there so we can
Yeah,
actually see you smile while you're riding a
yeah,
bike, right? That's awesome. And listen, Daniel Parker is those of you already know him, big supporter of Daniel Parker. He's a rider mindset coach, and he's absolutely amazing. He says it's all about having fun and enjoying yourself, Jakey.
yeah,
It is. That's. I mean, if you're not having fun, what's the point of even going?
yeah, exactly.
So you have to have fun, and let me ask you this, as far as your team members go, right? Who
Yeah.
was all on your team, and what particular jobs did they have?
So we have my dad, which is like crew chief, main mechanic, um, or stress head as I like to call him, always stressing, just making sure everything's right. And then we also had my main man Jim, my right hand man. He's always there for me, always takes in all my advice and just lets me do what I want to do and make sure I'm happy with the bike always. Of course, we have GT. I know he'll be watching, so he'll be annoyed if I wouldn't say his name. The I'm gonna call him the chef this time. The man that's always cooking the food and making the teas for everyone. Also, the chatty man that just goes and speaks to everyone in the paddock. You won't see him speaking to no one. Um, who else did we have on the team? We have a lot of people on the team, but it just mostly changes around. Um, like this year, a couple of rounds we've had Smithy, who has helped me out a lot. He was doing a couple bits on the bike, and just yeah, we just have a couple different people every time. Just anyone that can help out, really, just to be able to get us working instead of all stressing out with a few people.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot to do on a race weekend. It is stressful
Yeah,
to be there, right? But I can understand where your dad's coming from, stressing the hell out, making sure everything's 100%, man, because he's got the legend you on the bike, but you're also his everything too, right? So
yeah,
everything's got to be to his. I'm sure he probably, if it was me, I'd be 4 or 5 times checking where people are like, dude, stop, like it's good, right? Like just stop, it's good. And at that point, you got to trust yourself too. Be like, okay, you got to be happy with yourself when it's said and done. So how did you when you were struggling there at the beginning? How did you come over that mental hump?
well, for I think I crashed at every round. I think I didn't qualify. So just constantly crashing and just not qualifying. I just kept bringing myself down and down, and then I just got to a point where I was like, well, there's no point being down now. It's just we just got to go out there and full send it, and just is what it is. If I don't qualify, I don't qualify, and then I just began to get a bit quicker, and we started getting set up right on the bike, and just I started getting comfy. It because with a Triumph, it's so hard to learn. The power delivery is so much different to a normal bike. It's just it kicks in at a certain point, and it's just you just got to be able to ride within that certain rev range for it to be able to keep the pace up. Um, and yeah, I just kept learning with the bike, not qualifying, and just getting so down with myself that I got to the point where I just said that's it, and then I just pushed forward. I just kept a clear head, and I just rode my race and just literally had fun again. Um, and it's even better when you're finishing the race when you're seeing that checkered flag for the first time. It was an amazing feeling coming past the line.
That's awesome. I couldn't imagine that, right? I mean, I've raced before, but you do see the check flag, but nothing at your level. Like if me and you
Yeah,
lined up on a grid, I'd be way back there, right?
yeah,
But it's cool. I'd be like, nah, dude, I'm good. I'll just watch. Because I already know I'm gonna get beat. Right now on the little bikes, we'd have a lot of fun because I like to get rowdy on those, right? Because they're small,
yeah,
they're
definitely.
tiny, and you're going lower speeds, and so it's not you can still break stuff, but you'll be all right. Nah, just joking. Um, dude. So once you started to qualify, and as the season progressed, the more fun you had, the better results you had, right? So sum up your 2023 season.
To sum it up, um, it's just mixed emotions, really. I mean, it's just trying, just obviously the non-qualifying, and then we was qualifying, and then I got to the point where I was like, well, now I want to be higher up the grid. Now I want to be finishing higher, and it was just I was constantly just up and down, really. Um, but I think it was a something as a good first year learning, really. I mean, I may not have done anything. So there was a few points like in the wet at the Donington round at the end of the year. I think I started last and finished about 25th or something, and I made up. every position. I think I overtook every person that was in front of me, and it was a really good round. So there's been some highlights of that season, but and then I just see my dad just he ended 2023 on a high about 10 feet in the air,
Yeah,
which
about 10 feet in the
yeah,
air. Yeah.
he
Yeah.
beat me to it there. But yeah,
That's awesome. That's
it
and
was
then
a high.
Shane absolutely because was that the video you guys sent me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it
yeah,
was.
yeah. That's awesome. So Shane Furrow says, "GT, the absolute legend."
GT Grandad Terry, the main man.
Yep, that's it. That's it. And then we got my mate Craigo Harris. He says, "Hey Jakey, hey Chris, please say thank you to Jake for sharing the Racing in Pink post this week."
Of course, Craig, it's no bother, mate.
Yeah, dude, he's awesome. Craigo's absolutely awesome. And then we got Peter. Dude, I don't want to try to say your last name because I'll absolutely murder it. But it says hope to get some races this season.
I hope to see you at some races at some point, mate. Be nice to see you.
So how do you and Craigo know each other?
Well, we met at the. I don't know if you've seen the BSB Barmy Army bike night that went on the other week. We met there. Yeah, that was pretty much it. We met at the bike night and spoke, and he told us some of his stories, and yeah, crazy stories.
Right. I always like his photos he's always posting.
Yeah,
It's awesome. I laugh at every single one of them. He's awesome. So yeah, you guys while you're at the racetrack, go by and say hi at Craigo. And then we got Zach Weston is watching. What is up, Zach?
legend Zach.
Absolutely proper legend. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So, man, I wish I would have met you at Cadwell, bro. For real.
Yeah, I had a bit of a cracking weekend at Carnival. To be fair, I think in one of the practice sessions, I full sent it over the mountain. I ended up coming off the bike mid-air and staying on it.
Nice.
Somehow, I pretty much Supermaned it. My both feet are off the pegs. I've got some photos of it. I'll have to send them to you.
Yeah.
And literally, I landed and I was wobbling all over the place.
I'm sure that was a scary moment too, right? Like, oh shit. Yeah.
It sure was. It sure
I got to
was.
come in and change my pants after that one for sure.
Yeah,
Dude,
I pretty much did. Yeah,
I would have too, right? Like, did y'all see that? Holy shit. And Cadwell's such a beautiful place, man. I could talk about Cadwell all day. I love that track.
yeah,
It's such an amazing place. But so your best round, you said was Donington? Was it Donington? You said
either Donington or Brands Hatch GP. Both of them races, I started at the back of the grid and I ended up mid pack of the grid in the wet. I just seem to flow in the wet all the time. Just whenever, I just love it. It's a beautiful
see, like
feeling.
the wet. So I like to ride in the rain too. It teaches you so much how much grip you actually have, right? And
Yeah,
what's available and what's not available, and it happens
yeah,
pretty sudden when it's not available, right? Just like in the dry, but in the dry you get a little bit more warning, I guess. Maybe I don't know. I've never really had like full rain tires on and properly pushing it on the track, so I'm just, I guess, thinking what it would feel like, right? Um,
yeah,
Dude, yeah. So, and I seen some videos of you, and I guess that was Zach, where you guys were riding wheelies on a CRF 100, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. Me and Zach were playing on the little CRF 100s with the street tires on the dirt. Do a bit of flat tracking and stuff, and yeah, when we play, we always try and do some wheelies here and there. And we're always like, we need to get some on video because they are pretty good. Because we always do side by side ones, and yeah, it's just mint. It is mint.
That's
We have class time there.
that's awesome. Ashley said, let's pull her on up. She said, "Did my rain dance, hoping it would have been wet at Alton and Donnie."
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
that's
one of
awesome.
my close friends. And yeah, she always comes and supports me. And yeah, she
Is that
always
the
does the way.
one where you two were on? Was it Instagram that day where everybody was giving y'all stars or whatever? Y'all had that little battle going on. Was that her? Is that her?
No, it wasn't that one.
Oh, okay. All right. Because yeah, I remember clicking on it. I was like, look, my mate Jake's on here. That was awesome. Dude,
Yeah, it
so
was.
It's how often do you do that?
I was doing it before, just in the off season. Just I don't know. I was just a bit bored and stuff, and I just thought, I seen everyone doing these TikTok live battles, and I was like, let's give this a try. Let's just see what it's about. I don't know. You just speak to random people and you just battle them, and people send you gifts, and you make a bit of money off of it as well. So I was like, I may as well try a bit of this and see if we can make some money off of it. I think I made about 15 quid off it, but I mean, it's all worth it, isn't it?
Dude,
15 quid for nothing.
110%, right? That's how I always
Yeah,
see it. I mean, you can't you can't every bit helps, especially in this sport, because everybody knows how expensive this sport is. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. So every bit helps, right?
yeah.
And yet, how's the fan club going?
It's not been the best. I mean, I will put my hands up and say I've not been very good with it at the minute, but it's just because everything's a bit all over the place. Um, just with the racing and stuff at the moment. That obviously I'm meant to give away tickets and stuff, but we haven't had tickets to give away at the first two rounds. Like we have tickets available now that I can give away, and I need to start sending my club bags out and things. I mean, most of the people have got theirs that I haven't sent them out to. I just need to get the stuff to send them out. Yeah, we haven't had much interest in the club this year. I need to try and promote it a bit more and get some people to do it because it really does help me out massively. It just
Absolutely.
every little bit helps
It
pretty
does.
much.
And people, what are you waiting for? I say it all the time. Club 45. What are you waiting on? If you can't listen, it's on Instagram, TikTok, he's on Facebook, everywhere, right? And if you have any issues at all, just message me and I'll put you direct into contact and join the club. It absolutely
Yeah,
helps. And he's a proper legend coming up. You guys know I say it all the time. So what are you guys waiting on, right? And if you're watching the TT racing, I get it. Trust me, I get it, right? I do. But Club 45. Let's go. Right? Let's go. Right? Dude, this is awesome, man. So Daniel, when I left Cadwell, Daniel actually took me by Brands Hatch. He's like, there's somewhere I gotta show you. Going back to his house and Brands, it from Cadwell to Brands is a totally different racetrack. I mean, absolutely, totally. It's like the opposite end of the spectrum, right? But seeing it in real life and being able to have that experience puts it more into perspective. I would love to go to Brands Hatch. Like I plan on when I come back out there next year, I want to stay for 2 rounds if it's possible. Um,
yeah,
but one of those has to be Cadwell Park. I mean, it's just yeah, it's got to be Cadwell. So it's either gonna be the one
yeah,
before or the one after.
yeah. I'm trying to think what's. I know there's Cadwell. I think before Cadwell is Thruxton, and the one after Cadwell would be bloody hell. I want to say Alton Park, maybe not 100%, but Alton Park.
Well, which one's better for as a fan perspective? Like that goes up and shows up to either one of those tracks. Which one's better for the fans, so to say?
Thruxton's not as. I don't think Thruxton's as good for the spectators. I've never been, but I've never heard it's as good for the spectators. I don't think there's much places to watch. Whereas Alton Park, there's a lot of places to watch, and Alton Park once again is pretty close to Cadwell because it's just up and down track and it's just mental. It is a mental track. It really is. I think the wheels off the floor most of the track. To be fair,
Nice, that's awesome. And you really love that track too, don't you?
yeah, Alton Park. I had a good round at Alton this year. I missed the first round in Spain, so I did my first round was at Alton Park, the second round, and yeah, I think I did really well. I rode a lot faster than last year, and it was mint. I just really enjoyed that weekend.
I love it, dude. I love it. I want to go, man. I can't wait to come back. God, I miss it so much. I talk about it
Yeah,
all the time. I really do. Craig O'Hare's oops, wrong with Alton all day. Thanks, Shane. I've heard that too, for real. Um, it says Craig says racing at Brands in 4 weeks. Awesome.
legend.
And there's two different tracks at Brands, right? From what
Yeah,
I
you've got
understand.
Brands Hatch Indy Circuit, which basically there's the corner that comes round onto the GP straight, instead of it being a round corner, it kind of just goes to a left right. It's pretty much a straight line chicane, pretty much just into the last corner. So it's about bloody hell, on a 600. I think like a 49-second lap time or 48-second lap time or something.
Holy
It's
shit.
tiny. It is tiny.
I bet it's a lot of fun too.
It is. It is actually quite a lot of fun, but it's just it does get a bit repetitive because it's like so
Yeah.
short and just there's not much technicality to it. Probably the first corner at Brands because it's that massive hill. Turn one is scary, to be fair. When you go down it, you're coming down it and you're like lent right off the bike. It's almost like crane the curves, but worse because you get to the bottom and you just hit a dip and it instantly goes back up again. Oh, it is class track. I do like Brands.
Yeah, so it's I could imagine that guy there, man. Like we couldn't be able to do what we did here in America, like just roll up to Virginia National Raceway and be like, "Hey, man, my mate's here from UK. Is it okay if you let us in?" They'd be like, "Hell no," right? Like unless you buy a ticket or whatever. But we went during off hours, and dude at the gate was like, "Yeah, absolutely. Just don't take your car on the track." I'm thinking to myself, "This is absolutely awesome. Are you kidding me right now? Like in America, this does not go down at all." But yeah, it's the garages were nice. They actually had some cars there, I think. I think they were
Yeah,
setting up to race the next day or something. But the track was super wide. I kind of wish we could have actually did a lap on the track, right? But we went actually back in front of the garages and back behind the garages. Um, yeah, proper, man. It looks like a a little track for sure, right? Because I can only
yeah,
see so much because the way it cuts up to the. Let me close my eyes. Come down up to the right. Don't it go behind some trees and you can't see it no
yeah,
more? And then we can see you guys come back down the other end.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So the Indy circuit with that little road in between them, that the two last parts you see the bikes. That little road in between is the Indy circuit. So you just miss them. You miss the back section. You just go straight up the hill and back into the last corner again.
and so on your Trump, you're just 2 gears or 3 gears, like second, third, fourth.
Um, well, you'd probably be, we'll say, because first corner is like a third gear, then the second corner is like a second. Yeah, you probably use second, third, fourth, fifth, maybe. It just depends how you get your bike, really.
Yeah, that's facts, right? It does
Yeah.
rear sprocket, front sprocket, all that. So let me ask you this: like in the GP2 class, are you guys allowed to and change your internal transmission gears too as well, or is it just front
Uh,
and rear sprocket?
oh, you can change the gearbox to a short ratio gearbox. I think that's pretty much the only thing you can do. You can't actually mess with all the different size ratio inside. It's just
Yeah,
that set gearbox you can put in. So that's what we had. We had the short ratio gearbox. It just kind of just makes the gear changes. It just gets through the gears quicker. Really,
yeah,
that's what it does. So then you can use the gearing for longer gearing, and it kind of just brings the power on a lot quicker. It's much better.
I bet, right? I've never rode a bike like that before, so yeah. I could only imagine it does, man. And it actually looks so. Ashley says Cadwell's amazing for spectating, just long ways to walk if you want to watch from different parts of the track, but it never disappoints. Ashley, I left Cadwell. I was there in August, and it's my favorite track in the world, and it was absolutely amazing. And I walked the entire track several times, as I always do, just to get to know it intimately, right? And watch racing from all angles. It is a hike, right? But that's part of the journey and part of being there. I'm that type of guy where I show up to the track, I got to see the whole track at least once while I'm there, right? Walking all the way around it, going to the bridge, going to the right, seeing them come from turn one was it blew my mind. It's absolutely amazing. I was like, holy shit, and you look up because it goes left, and then when it banks to the right, it looks like it falls off the earth because you don't see
Yeah,
shit, right?
yeah,
And it's as you walk around it, you really appreciate the undulations and uh the width. It's favorite track in the world. If nobody's ever been there, highly recommended. What are you waiting for? I mean,
get
seriously,
that
what are you
now.
waiting for? Get that, yeah, right now. Book it. No bullshit, right?
Yeah,
Yes, for sure. Craigo says get dizzy on the Indy.
yeah,
I
you do,
bet.
you do.
And then Stewart says Knock Hill's best. See most of the track, so miss none of the action.
Yeah, Knock Hill is really good for spectating. Because that's a short track as well. It's about a 40 something second lap time as well. But it's really technical. That's the thing. It's really short, but it's really technical and good. That's crazy. Turn one downhill. You come down the hill hard on the brakes and you tip in right, and as you're flicking left, you're going left down a drop, and that's an insane track. That Knock Hill is one of my favorite tracks. It's really class. It might be short, but it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Do they have it on Ride 5?
No,
I was gonna say because I've seen pictures of Knock Hill, obviously, and I've seen it on TV racing in BSB, right? So I don't know what you guys are waiting on. But I always wanted to play it like Cadwell, right? They have Cadwell, and I just absolutely
yeah,
suck on that track. It's my favorite track, but dude, I can't even make it a lap without crashing my brains out at
yeah.
least 30 times. It's really difficult. It's a difficult track, but I'm sure in real life it's a lot easier to
Oh
ride,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
I'm ride 5. Bloody hell, you can't even make it up the mountain. I'd flick left, I flick right, and then next thing you know, I'm in the tire wall. It's stupid. I do
It
like it
is.
though. It's quite realistic, to be fair, with the brakes and stuff. It's ride 5 is pretty good.
It
It's
it
just
is.
it's just that slight bit that's not realistic enough where it just crashes when it shouldn't crash.
Yeah, yeah. We still need to jump on and play because I got
Yeah,
Ride 5 too. So yeah, we will, man. We will. So listen, dude, Jake. It's an absolute honor, man. I say it all the time for this whole friendship and the way everything happened and come together and to be able to watch you from the first time I reached out to you right after Cadwell Park. Because I remember being there and seeing your bike and I love the colors. I was like, dude, I love that bike right there. I need to go find them, right? And we just never ended up meeting, right? And then I reached out to Jake, and Jake's like, "That's funny, blah 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 blah." Yeah, I wanted to reach out and how everything happened and it come together, man. And I watched you for the whole rest of the season in BSB. You already know I was cheering my head off, showing you all the love, dude, for real. So let's talk a little bit about 2024. How do you feel about your upcoming season? And
well, the season's already started as it
right,
is, but so we've done the first, well, this second and third round, if you want to call it that, but the first two UK rounds we've done. Um, Alton Park's been really good. Back on the GP2 again this year, we was on the 765. But the amount of people on the grid this year is unreal. There's been about 60 people or just under 60 people at each round, and there's
holy
only
shit.
40 spaces on a grid. So it's really tough. So last year I wasn't qualifying due to times, and now this year it's hard to qualify without. Well, it's hard to qualify even doing the times. Not the record at Cadwell. We'll get onto that in a minute, but but yeah, the Alton Park was a good round for me. We didn't qualify for the main race, but we had the last chance race where I was sat in the front group for most of the race. We was battling for first. It was really cool. Like, I've never really been in the front pack, and it was like awesome of us. I think there was about 8 or 9 of us battling for first, and it's just and then I made a couple overtakes, and the guy I was battling with, we just kept overtaking each other, and we just ended up losing the group, just because we couldn't quite overtake and then stick it smoothly enough to be able to keep with the rest of them in front. So we kind of just dropped off. But I did a strong race that one. I think I finished 7th or something. I lost a position to Mr. Benny Grayson on the last corner because I ended up going wide on the brakes. I ended up out braking myself, and the back wheel lifted up in the air, so I ended up almost in the gravel, but we didn't, luckily. And I finished 7th, so that was pretty good. Donny was a bit of a weird one. The first section I was a bit off because the weather was just a bit shit, and I just when it's iffy, when it's wet and dry, I hate it, and it's just horrible feeling. And the second session we had that day. I had a bit of electrical problems when my bike kept cutting off and stuff like that, and then I had a few setup issues. I was pulling him every lap. I think I only set about 2 valid lap times, and then next thing you know, I was elbow down at the last corner, and I ended up keeping going more and more down and just sliding with the bike. And there you go, I lost the front at the last corner. So we missed a lot of time at Donny to get the bike set up and stuff like that. So we ended up by the end of qualifying, we actually got an okay setup and just struggled in the race. We just really struggled in the race. But yeah, we just decided with the class and with the oversubscribed grid that we're going to try and move away from it. There's like a couple of things that we could do instead that we have ideas of, and I think we're going to make some changes. But yeah, we're sticking the bike up for sale just to get some funds in and see what we can do next.
Well, good. So anybody interested in a proper 765 Triumph GP2, hit my mate up for sure. Absolutely, help them out. It's a beautiful bike too. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's dipped with a forged carbon frame with copper flex in it, and it looks really, really fancy. It does.
Yes, it does. It's beautiful. I remember when you sent me the pictures, I was like, holy shit, that thing is badass. It really is. Martin Adams says, one careful owner. Absolutely. Big shout out to Martin. You guys already know the Clothing Kings. Huge supporter, dude. He is a proper mega. A Clothing King, they're all proper. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there you go. RD, they support. I got it on the back of. Boom, there it is. You guys see it. R&D on the front, Clothing Kings in the back. So these come from a buddy of mine, man. He's been wanting to make me some shirts, right? And I was like, man, you don't have to. He's like, dude, I want to. I want to make them for you, right? I want to do it. And I was like, well, if you do it, that's when I asked everybody to get permission before I did it, right? Hey, is it okay?
Yep.
If my buddy wants to make me some shirts. Is it okay if I run the R&D, the SFL Mini, the BSB Army, all of them? Because it's important to me, because I always want to show all you guys all the love and support. And every time I leave this house, 9 times out of 10, I have the shirt on. So I do. I really do. My wife's looking at me. She's like, do you ever gonna wear anything else? I'm like, probably not. Probably not, right? So yeah, that's what
That's
I
the
do.
same with me, Chris. To be fair, I'm always wearing my racing clothing wherever I go. Always wearing it, all with all the sponsors on and everything. I'm actually this
Always
is like one of the first times I'm not wearing it. I've got my gilet on, but I just need to have something on. But yeah, I'm always wearing my stuff. Clothing King's always getting promoted.
The facts. It does 100%. And listen, what's Peter talking about? You hold the record at Cadwell?
Probably crashes. To be fair. Yeah, it was a wet day at Cadwell. First time I've actually not been the best in the well. I was good in the wet. I was actually pretty quick, but I think I was a bit too quick, if you want to say that. I mean, I didn't even make an out and lap before I crashed. I didn't even finish a lap before I crashed on a track day. This was earlier this year. Going over the mountain, and I wheeled and the front came down. It took the front because it was wet. So I crashed on the outer lap over the mountain, and then later on in the day, I was pretty much overtaking everyone. Like I was just overtaking anyone that I could, and just yeah. And at one point, I decided to make a big overtake. I went for it. I made it, and I went to the corner, and then I ended up in the air and on the floor. And that was just yeah. It's just the wet. It is when it goes, it goes. It lets go, and you have no saving it. Sometimes you can just about save it, but others it's really tough. It'll just throw you away.
Quick too, without warning. And we had touched on that earlier. And look, Craig O'Hara says, looks much prettier than my Bandit, talking about your bike up for sale. Well, there you go, Craigo. Lovely 675 for you, mate. Absolutely. And then, dude, look who we got in the house. Northeast Jules, bro. What is up, my man? He said, sending love from the psych ward, LOL, because that's where he actually works now.
Oh, is
He
it?
works in
That's
uh
quality.
yeah. Jules works in a psych ward. And then Craig O'Hare says, I've crashed every corner except Chris's at Cadwell at least once.
Yeah. Bloody
Uh
hell. That is mental. Crashing every corner.
that is mental. And people, if you haven't been there at Cadwell, because there's on the back section, once you come over the mountain course, it's not really, you can't really tell that much on TV how narrow it is back through there. And I've said this 100 times.
Yeah.
When you actually see it, you're like, holy shit! Not how narrow it is too, but the last two corners before the front straightaway. I was back there as far back as you go to see, and I was like, you got to be kidding me right now.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. It's again one of the most beautiful things you're ever gonna see. 100%. I always classify Cadwell kind of like a TT kind of style course, because once you come over the mountain, how it is, how it's structured, how close everything is, there's basically no runoff at all. If you do, it's you maybe got 2 or 3 feet. I mean,
Yeah.
before your tires on either side, it's hilly. You go over a hill, you come back down, and then it's just boom, hard right with literally a tire wall.
Yeah.
That's again
Yeah, it
4
really is.
feet, maybe in a fence, and then you go to another right, and it's the same way, and then you come down the front straight, and it opens them to the left, first corner, second corner, and to me, besides the mountain jump, I think 1 and 2 is probably some of my favorite corners at Cadwell,
Yeah.
because of the sheer speed you guys carry through there, and how blind it is, and how uphill it goes. I mean, I stood there for at least 40 minutes one day, just sitting down, just going, thinking in my head, like, this is proper mental, right? This is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, it's mental. That first corner you can just I think I think if I'm right, I just drop a gear and you just tip in. You drop a gear, tip in, and you're back on the throttle again. And then you're instantly back on the brakes again, tip them right, and then open it back up through. When it goes into the Charlies 1 and 2, it really goes from wide to narrow and over a little hill. And then when you're over that hill and you're tipping straight into a right again, back onto the straight. Oh, that is fast, and you've got to have some balls to get through there quick as well, because it goes wide going into the turn one, and then it goes just tightens up massively, and you feel like you're going to go on the grass, but if you just hold the right line, you can stick it fast.
Yeah, dude, it's listen, people. If you've never been, it should be on your bucket list. No bullshit. It's absolutely mental, and again, one of the most beautiful things you're ever gonna see in your life. I'm telling you. I've been to Laguna Seca. I've been to Texas, dude. I've been to a lot of tracks here in America, and they're all special, and they're all awesome and amazing. But yeah, there's only one Cadwell Park, 110%. That's it, right? Just like there's
Yeah,
only one TT, there's only one Macau. It's yeah, and you're right, dude. The Clothing Kings not only do clothing, check out our truck, man. You guys got to check out the truck. I posted it on my social. You can go back to my social and see it. It is proper mega. You guys check it out. Listen, Martin at the Clothing Kings, what can't they do? They're simply amazing.
yeah,
All their products are absolutely top notch, and people ask me all the time with my Clothing King shirts, the one that in my hats, they're like, where'd you get that? I was like, bro, I always carry, I have these in my car. When I'm around, I carry some of my jackets. Some of them are like all like messed up, right? Because I just carry it around all the time. I'm like, right here. There you go. You can go right here, theclothingkings.co.uk. Get all your Pendergast merch, baby. Not only that, you can get
yeah,
Jake Marsh's merch, R&D Racer merch, and get Luke Hedger. I mean, yeah, so proper. And you guys' trucks look so amazing. When y'all sent me the picture, I was like, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
yeah.
Absolutely
It does look
amazing.
class. You
And
walk by it and it just stands out because the whole thing is just so bright and colourful, and it's just me on my bike. I mean, it's not one of my favorite photos, but it stands out. It stands out a treat. It's more the fact that the photo was taken on an outlap coming out of the pit lane into the first corner. Um, but it's okay. I'm not bothered. It stands out, and I'm happy. Everybody
I,
comes over and has a look, and it's lovely.
Absolutely. That's the point. It's beautiful, Jake. You should be proud. I know I am, and I know you are proud in some. Yeah, your picture, but I think it's awesome. I think the angle, the colors, the way they laid it out, and yeah, it's absolutely proper mega. It's beautiful. Absolutely. Craigo says it's my local, and I've done thousands of laps. Yeah, at Cadwell. Uh, it's lucky. I'm jealous. And you guys know Julie, right? Man, what's her last name? She has the Cadwell Park on Facebook.
Oh,
I met her, Julie, right? Julie
yeah,
and her
okay.
husband Sam. Big shout out to
Yeah,
them, dude. They're awesome. I met them on the Friday I was there because they had a track day and a car day, I think, there when we went. Um,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so Julie, big shout out to her. She's awesome. She's always there. She's always sending me pictures at Cadwell. I'm like, I'm so jealous right now. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
nice to have. It's nice to have fans like that. It's that always come and support and always want to see all the riders and just meet them. It's nice. It's nice how she comes around and takes photos and put in the Cadwell Park group. Yeah, it's class. There's some good people at Cadwell actually. I've made a lot of friends with some of the photographers there, and yeah, and some marshals that work there as well. It's class.
So
An
you know
absolute
my
delight.
mate Malcolm Shorter.
Malcolm, yeah, I
Yeah,
spoke to him and he's took some class photos of me round Cadwell. He's a good lad. He is.
dude, Malcolm's awesome. Big shout out to Malcolm, man. He took me out to have my proper fish and chips with my curry sauce.
Mm,
Um and my mushy peas. And I remember when I was ordering, I called them squishy peas, and everybody was laughing at me. They're like, "It's mushy peas." I was like, "I'm American. You can forgive me." But yes, let me get some of those, please. Awesome, man. It's awesome. And let's see. Shane says still nailed Vickers.
Um, I'm not sure with that comment.
Yeah, Ron Vickers, dude, is
I do
a
apologize.
beast, man. Absolute. Oh, and then Crego says also working with Clothing Kings for the racing and pink merch, bro. Absolutely. That's why when my buddy was like, dude, I want to make you some shirts. I was like, dude, I want bright pink, straight up, like pink with the black, right? Just be different. I would stand out. My whole thing was when I'm in Moto America or when I come back to Europe and I go to the racetrack, like when you're walking through the paddock, everybody's eyes immediately go because you stand out so bright, right? And they're
Yeah,
like, Pendergast, RD Racing, Jake Marsh, Clothing King, Chef Eats, all of them, BSB, Army. Yeah, it's that was my whole thing with the pink. Plus, it's
yeah.
one of my favorite colors.
Well, I just want to shout out Craigo for the racing in pink as well. Just it's nice to see a racer helping with the charity side of things too. So if anyone wants to help charity, and I can't remember, I do apologize. I can't remember what it was for, but Craigo set up this for the charity, and there's a race every year. I'm pretty sure with where everybody wears the pink shirts over their leathers, and it's really cool. It is really cool, and it is good to watch as well.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Craigo and Racing in Pink. Yeah, so I need me a Racing in Pink shirt, Craigo. I'll send you my address. Thanks, mate. I'll send you a pin to gas one. We'll swap it out. And then Peter Marsh, the pin to gas logo is traveling around the UK. Listen, I don't want to get emotional, man, for real, because I will straight up. But dude, nothing but love. It's been an absolute honor and the best ride and the best life I could ever have dreamed of, for real. It's yeah. Thank you guys so much. I just don't know what else to say. It's an absolute honor, proper mega, and I can't thank you guys so much. So, and you guys know, dude, I'm always talking about RD racing and giving Jake Marsh shouts out every podcast and the Club 45. It's yeah, you guys are the best in the world. And I can't wait to come down there and meet you guys in real life.
Yep.
It's gonna be absolutely awesome. It's gonna be a good time. And then yes, Peter Marsh, she is the Queen of Cadwell. That's what I was with Paul, Malcolm's buddy. Man, I can never remember Paul's good name. He actually came and picked me up at the hotel. Him and Malcolm every day for Cadwell, and he introduced me to Julie. He's like, "Yeah, see her? Let's go say hi to Julie. She's the Queen of Cadwell." I was like, "I gotta get a picture of the Queen of Cadwell. Are you kidding me right now?" Yeah. Are you kidding me? Yeah, let's go. Oh, and then Peter says, Vickers crashed trying to trace Crago in the rain at Snetterton. Nice. Bro, that
Yeah,
is awesome.
yeah. When Crago told us that, I was like, Vickers just couldn't keep up with him in the rain, and it was class to hear that. I thought it was so funny that you've
It's
got a superbike rider chasing this guy on his bandit, and he can't even keep up.
but it also tells you how bikes capable that those bikes still are, right? I
Yeah,
mean, and it just tells what a class and a legend Crago is himself.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
that's no, I mean, especially with the pressure you get Ryan Vickers behind you. Yeah, the first thing I think is like, shit, do I just let him go by? Nope. I'm gonna keep pinning the gas, see what happens, right? You're gonna have to fight for this one. Yeah. And then Crago says, we will sort you guys out, bro. Yeah, I don't know why my heart emoji thing's not working no more. We just did this update, man. And I don't, I'm not liking that. I don't know if now if it's a setting I gotta cut on, I'll figure it out. Um, and then Crago says, in the offer to take my race bike around Cadwell when you're here next year, Chris still stands. Mate, I'm gonna take you up on it 110%. I'll bring my full custom suit with me, all that stuff. Yeah, we'll have a great time. That and I want to do the California Superbike School with Gary in the UK too. I have that too on the table as well. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna be a proper mega trip, man, for sure. I can't wait. This time, man, I really want to bring my wife and my son too. So
I'm sure they'd love it over here.
oh, dude, I've been trying to tell my wife, like to the point I was like, man, I almost would sell all my shit to move to the UK. Like, I want to do it, and I've talked about it before. My wife's like, nah, I don't know. I was like, well, just come with me and visit first, and then you can take it all in, and then you can decide for yourself. And yeah, hopefully, if not, we could have a long distance relationship. I think it'll work. That's what I told her. She's like, you're an asshole. We can work this. We'll work something out, right? Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's good stuff, man. But Jake, listen, dude, we've been at this for like almost an hour, and it's like we've been on for like 10 minutes, which is crazy.
I know.
What's your plans for the rest of the evening?
For the rest of the evening, I mean, just chilling out. I think just watch some Netflix or something. Just don't know. We'll see what's on.
Yeah, I can't even talk. Netflix and chill. Sometimes, every time I say Netflix, sometimes I want to say that twice. I
Yeah,
don't know what it is, right? Yeah, man, dude, this is good stuff, man. Good stuff. So listen, the TT's starting. Everybody knows I'm a huge fan. I know you guys are a huge fan. So I want to talk about TT for a second. You know, there's a lot going around. Michael Dunlop today, he broke down twice on the twins, and I think he was on a 600 Super Sport. I don't think I'm not sure what happened because I had to go to the grocery store and do other things, but I am going to go back on the TT Plus app. It's only $25 here in America. I've been talking about it for months since it's coming out. It's finally here. Today's the day, the first day. Go sign up, enjoy the greatest show you're ever going to see in the world. But what you think about Michael Dunlop surpassing Uncle Joey record this year?
yeah, yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, yeah, it's good. It's just nice to see it still running in the family, isn't it? It's still going on, and Michael's still always as good as ever, always flying. He's just an unreal rider. He actually is. As good as his brother, definitely. But yeah, I think Michael Dunlop has just got to be one of the best around the TT. I know obviously Hickman's fastest man, but like Dunlop is a great ride around there. He's great.
He is, and I personally think that he can do it. I think he can get his 2 wins to surpass Joey Dunlop, which would be an achievement, right? Just to walk around and say, not only am I the greatest of all time, my uncle's the greatest of all time, and how
Yeah,
many race wins they have is just it's mind blowing. I mean, it really
yeah,
is. And even for him to do 130 miles an hour on a 600, right? They were doing 130 miles an hour on 1000s like 4 years ago.
I know.
It's on a 600. I was like, holy shit, that's pinning the gas. I mean, you got to be on the throttle at least 60% of the lap on a 600, I'm sure. And that's just, yeah, man, psycho and mind blowing for real, you know. And then the sidecar races is coming up, you know, it's practice this whole week. Um, Looking forward to it, man. I am. But so Hickman, we got to talk about my boy Hickey, right? Huge fan of Hickey's too as well. I always got his trooper jacket right here because I'm always
Yeah,
wearing it out, and I got it was an honor to meet him too as well. I think Hickey's going to do what Hickey does best. I mean, that's all I'm gonna say. Absolutely, you can't count him out. You can see it the first 2-3 days, blah blah blah. But when it comes to actually line up and go, it's magic. It really is 136 miles an hour. That's just plumb
he
nuts, bro. Like,
he always flies. He does. He always flies around there.
and he makes it look so easy.
Yeah,
He's one of the riders that when you watch him, it don't look like he's really trying. But listening to, because I was listening to Stuart Baker's new book is The Ragged Edge. Hang on, I'm gonna pull it up. I don't want to murder. I've been talking about it all the time. Yeah, The Ragged Edge by Stuart Baker. It's all about the Isle of Man TT, and it's what I like about it. It's like a true story of it, right? It talks about the inevitable, the deaths and the stuff like that, right? And I just want to make one thing clear, man. Too is I get asked a question too because I'm such a huge TT fan. Like, don't you think it's dangerous and blah 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 blah? I'm like, look, you can say anything is dangerous in this world. I don't give a shit what it is, okay? But when you have people that love that sport so much and that understands the risk, they don't care about the risk. They're willing to still to put it all on the line to achieve everything that they want to achieve, right?
yeah,
And that's beautiful. And that's in any sport, whether you're boxing, MMA fighting, jumping out of an airplane, or whatever it is, right? To me, that's beauty. I mean, and to be able to make that sacrifice and go out there and do it. And you hear it, dude. People like when they retire from the TT, it just general in any motorcycle racing, it's such a struggle for a rider to fill that void because you only get that certain rush and that certain feeling from those twos that we love. And that's why we're all here, right?
yeah,
So yeah, man. It's and listen, we got Wasim. Hi, Jake.
yeah,
It's nice to hear you live. Best wishes from us.
yeah. Wasim's the guy that sorts out all my leathers. He makes all my suits and everything. He's great.
RBS.
RBS,
See, I remember RBS. Big shout out to RBS. Yeah, absolutely amazing. And
the
yeah,
main
dude,
man
just
himself.
there he is, dude. Well, I think, well, dude, if yeah, we're me and him's actually talked.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome. Time for be me on Donnie, I'm there. So Martin says, "Be me at Donnie, I'm there Friday afternoon."
it's Bemsey. Basically, it's a
Bimsy.
race club, and Martin sponsors one of the classes at Bemsey, and
See,
yeah, and I'm racing there this weekend in the 600 class just for the final race on my 765.
the farewell tour.
Yeah,
Yep, the farewell right. It's just like, it's I always say this, Jake. To me, this I always thought of it. Every motorcycle is a woman, right? It meaning that you can line up 10, 6, 75s right off the showing floor. One's going to be the fastest, one's going to be the slowest. They're all going to feel individually different when you sit on them and ride them. Even if
mm,
you set them up the same, they're all going to feel different. Okay.
yeah,
So to me, it's like a woman. You've been with a woman for so long, you know her intimately, the ins and the outs, how to talk to her, how to treat her, what she likes, what she don't like. Then you move on to something else. It's like a whole new relationship. You got to figure it all out. And what should I say? What should I not say? What do you like? What you don't like? All that good stuff. So yeah, it's and yes, I murdered that Bimsy. Right? Leave it to us
yeah,
Americans
yeah,
for straight murdering that stuff. But back to earlier when you was talking about dragging your elbow, dude. So like the only times I've ever drug my elbow, it usually ends with my shoulder, right?
yeah,
And then my back and my leg. And then all of a sudden I'm like, hey, there goes my motorcycle right there, right? And
yeah.
yeah, one day, one
Yeah,
day.
I mean, the feeling when you drag your elbow and manage to stay upright as well, it's amazing. I think the first time I did it was last year in Spain, and I dragged my elbow slightly, and I was like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" I was like, "All right, well, we'll just chill out a minute." And then the next step, I was like, "You know what? We'll try this again." And it's just like you start getting in the hang of it. It's not like a common thing for me. I rarely get it down, but I think like I've got some videos of me getting my elbow down at Snetterton. I absolutely rinsed the hell out of them just because it just when I get it down, it just looks so smooth how I just lean into it and push my elbow into the floor and just stands the bike up so nicely. It just feels incredible. And when you got video or pictures of it, it's even better because then you can be like, it's not fake. I've actually got my elbow down. You can actually see for yourself now I've done it.
It's not me putting on my leather suit, going out the driveway, going,
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
I did it right here. You guys see the proof. Yeah, yeah. It's I could only imagine. I've never been there yet. I want to. That's why I want to get me like a little Honda Grom so I could throw my suit on, just go around the neighborhood and just start
yeah,
learning how to drag my elbow. Right, that'd be the easiest, safest way to do it for me anyway. Because I don't hill like I used to hill. Right, I don't bounce
yeah.
back like I used to bounce back. You do, but not me. It's It takes me a lot longer to heal and come back. But yeah, I would do it for sure. Man, I don't. Should I put this comment up here or not? I don't know. I'm the 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 one from your dad?
Yeah, yeah,
All right.
yeah. So we're looking at moving towards the 1000cc. Um, yeah, as he says, our lap times at Alton, we would have been on the super stock 1000 grid on my Triumph 765, which is
Mega.
mental. But you can't even get on the grid in a super sport race on it. So yeah, I think we're going to look at trying to move up to the 1000 and see what we can do on there. But we don't know yet. You just got to look at trying to get funds together and what we can do and what bikes to get. And yeah,
So you guys
hope
stay tuned.
yeah, stay tuned and hopefully big things coming. Yeah, just make sure
Just
to
stay.
watch out.
That's it. You just keep your eyes on it. Yeah. You guys just stay tuned. Yeah. And while you're staying tuned, go sign up for Club 45 too as well. So
Yeah,
stay tuned and Club 45. So there it is. And then Shane, he says when it's happening, we would fare so much better on a stock. Yeah, I mean, they're great bikes too, man. Stock 1000. That's one of my favorite classes, you know. It's proper race bike with, I mean, you guys, I can't say that about BSB because shit, you guys have the best class in the super bikes with no electronics on it anyway. So but over here, our stock bikes, they're not allowed to have as much, but it's fun to watch them, right?
yeah,
Stock is absolutely a good class. I like that, man. And the Junior Cup, man, I love watching the Junior Cup race. It is so awesome, and I love it too, man, because it's you see the highs and the lows, and the kids get so emotional. The young adults, I'll say, dude, they get so emotional, right? When they win, it's everything. When they lose, it's just as much. It's everything, right?
yeah,
In the emotion and the energy they put out, it's so catchy and grabbing. That's what I love about it. It's they put everything on the line. It's different. Like I said, and I've said this before, Jake, and you can agree to this, at least maybe. I hope so. We'll find out. It's when a racer is used to winning all the time. When they're on the podium, yes, they have joy. Yeah, thank you for my sponsors. The race was good, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But when somebody like Jake Marsh wins, or Kia Walker, or somebody like that wins, it's whoa, all that. That's what I'm saying. That right there is what it's about, right? That's what I love about that emotion, that passion versus somebody that's done it 50
yeah,
times. Yeah, yeah, this is my helmet. Big shout out to my sponsors, blah, blah, blah. The race was good, blah, blah, blah. Another big shout out to all my sponsors, and then they're off camera. Where you guys are just, and that's it, man. That's where it's at, and I love it. That's why I love those classes. Plus,
yeah,
you guys are
exactly.
the women legends, and I say it all the time. These guys that made it, they're on their way out. I mean, let's just be honest. They have a couple years, and guess what? They're on their way out, right? So
Yeah,
you guys are going to be the legends that's going to fill the grid up and come in. And Carrie, we already know. Absolutely. And we love you too, Carrie. Yes. She says, hi, Jake. Mommy loved you. We love you too. It's awesome. Dude, if my mom was watching it earlier, but she don't ever comment or anything. But every once
so
in a while we watch, yeah. And it's funny now since I've been podcasting, every time my phone dings or something, my mom's like, is this about the podcast? I'm like, no, mom, it's just my friend that lives down the street. We're planning on dinner later. She's like, okay. And then I get another ding. She's like, you're always podcasting. I'm like, I'm not podcasting, mom. I'm not at home on the computer. But no, again, it's just my friend. But yes, but my mom's a huge supporter. So, and I actually got a t-shirt for her, but she ain't never gonna wear it. It's just gonna sit in her closet. I should make her hang it up on a wall and frame it. Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, Jake, dude, this has been a lot of fun. So real quick before we get off here, because I gotta run down the street, we got a cookout going on, and then dude, I might have this podcast later on tonight. It's been confirmed, but I want to reconfirm it with a super bike racer here in Moto America, Bobby
Okay.
Fogg. Yeah, at 8 p.m. tonight. So hopefully that will work out. So it's gonna be awesome. Can't wait, man. But listen, I want to know your predictions on the TT this year. What are you thinking?
Well, I think Dunlop will win it again. To be fair, no, it's close. It's always Dunlop or Hickey for me on TT winning it.
Me too.
Always is. It always has to be.
Yeah, facts, right? But we got Ian Hutchinson coming back.
Yeah.
Right. It's his first time coming back, and we already know, dude, Ian still to this day, if I'm not mistaken, has been one of the few to win 5 races in a weekend in a fortnight. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ian
I'm not too sure. I've never really been a big supporter of the TT, so I'm not too sure on the ins and outs.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm right. If somebody knows, put it up here. Daniel Parker says, great show, great show, guys. Yeah, absolutely. Daniel, thank you so much, man. I miss Daniel, dude. He's a brother of mine, just like you, Jake. And yeah, I can't wait to talk to him again. It's been too long. And then Luke Watson says, Jake, you're a star. We already know. No, he's not a star. He's an absolute legend. So yes, correct, Luke. Legend, mate. Yeah, for real. But thank you, Luke, for watching. And Keo,
thanks, Luke.
Bro, hit me up. We still good tomorrow? I know Jake's done hit you up, and I see you watching. Jake was there when he won 5 times.
Oh well, maybe I was. I'm not too sure. When I was at the TT, I've only ever been once, and yeah, I wouldn't have a clue. I wasn't into racing at that point. I never knew who anyone was.
Dude, I'm so jealous, man. So he's there when he won. Yeah, see, I was right. He won. He's one of the only ones that won 5. And there we go, dude. Luke, legend. Yes, absolutely, absolutely, mate. We got a photo of him wheeling. Man, it's yeah, it is. So listen, you guys stay tuned, because listen, this is me and Jake are going to podcast his whole career. So we're going to have tons of stuff to talk about and all that good stuff. So stay tuned to part. What is this, like 4 or 5 now? Right.
Yeah,
we will.
probably.
So yeah, you just stay on with me after this, and we'll go ahead and schedule the next one. And then Ashley says, Jakey Snakey the legend. Absolutely, absolutely. But before we get off here, Jake, tell everybody where they can find you, where they can follow you. And you guys already know about Club 45, but go on and take it away, Jake.
You'll follow me on Facebook. That's where I post pretty much everything. Facebook, just Jake Marsh, where I'm streaming live from now. Follow me on Instagram, Jake Marsh _45, I think, if I'm right. And then you can follow my TikTok page. I'm pretty much uploading daily on there. On my TikTok page, always putting videos, photos up, whatever. Yeah, that's Jake M _45, that one. Yeah, I don't really do any Twitter or anything. So yeah, and once again, Club 45, just contact me or Chris, and just I can let you know all details, and it helps massively once again. So yeah, and am I allowed to say a few thank you to some people as well, Chris?
The floor is yours, my man.
All right. Well, I just want to say a big thank you to the Barmy Army for sorting me out massively with my leathers, and a few other things behind the scenes that will be coming out soon as well, which I'm looking forward to announcing. So make sure you're following Barmy Army on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Join the Barmy Army group on Facebook as well. There's always daily things put up there. I also want to say thank you to Clothing Kings for doing the truck again, and the clothing, as always. RBS Gear for making the leathers that Barmy Army supported me with, because they were mint. Helmet City, as always, they supported me with pretty much all my gear this year. They've given me my helmet, they gave me gloves, airbag, boots, everything, and you're legends for that. Who else have we got? I want to say thank you to 171 171 Airbrush, if you're watching this, I want to say thank you for amazing helmet design because it's absolutely insane. I love it. The glitter in it is unreal, and the red eyes, are beautiful. And it is actually a replica of this Cal Crutchlow helmet, but in blue with my own colours. So it's pretty cool. I always forget my sponsors in this. It's really bad. Dan Parker, I want to say thank you, Dan Parker, for supporting me this year as well with the mindset coaching. It helps massively. And I am always smiling, Dan, as you can see, mate. And R&G, massive thank you to them. Always supporting me in my crash protection, every bike, and always there on the track to give me spares when I need them. And I think it's not it, but I know it's not it, but I can't think at this moment in time. I do apologise, but thank you to all my sponsors, supporters, Club 45, everyone that helps me out. Just want to say thank you. It's much appreciated. And always drop me a message if you ever want to come and watch me race, or anyone. And yeah, I can let you know details and help you all out.
Facts. I love it, dude. Good stuff. Good stuff. And listen, I got to give my shouts out too. First one, again, Bison. If anybody's interested in a suit, don't buy an off the rack suit. Look up Bison. You get custom suits, custom tailor made to you. Any colors, any styles, any logos, anything you want. Undersuits, chest protector, gloves, the whole nine. Even just your hats. You can get your team shirts made from there. I mean, Bison does everything, and they're such great people. You know what I love about Bison too, Jake, is they're always at the racetrack. Okay.
Yeah.
Meaning that they are at the racetrack. So even if you don't ride in a Bison suit and you need something done, they do it. I mean, to me, that's like everything. They're always there, right? Every round, in case a patch change, whatever it is, they're there. It's absolutely amazing. So big shout out to Bison. Big shout out to RD Racing. Absolutely proper mega. Big shout out to my boy Jake Marsh. You guys know the routine of what I say, right? Go join Club 45. What are you waiting on? I mean, get up off the stop this right now. Don't listen no more and go do this. Let me finish this. Yes, but go sign up for Club 45. Listen, big shout out to BSB, Barmy, Army, and Shane. They're simply amazing at what they do. Go follow them on not TikTok. Yeah, they are on TikTok. I was gonna say X, but I don't even mess with X. Go follow them, Facebook and all that. They're simply amazing. Yeah, he was on my podcast, Shane. They're just absolutely the most amazing people. What he does for the sport. So go check him out. Big shout out to my man SFL Mini GP Michael Carrere out here in Florida. Listen, guys, they're like the best, most amazing. Jake, you know what I love about SFL Mini too is you don't even have to have a motorcycle. You can rent a bike. You don't have to have boots, gloves, leathers, nothing. You pay a registration fee. You show up, and your little 5-year-old can get on a bike, a PW50 or TTR 50, CRF 50, with a fleet of bikes they have, and they will teach them to race, right? And that's everything. And it's proven. We got Avery the Lap Slayer Dreyer, the 2023 Junior Cup champ, right? There's so many that's up and coming. Isaac Woodworth, big shout out to my man Isaac, dude. He gave me this belly pan in Jersey, so I hung it up on the ceiling, and I put a big old pin to gas sticker on it when I hung it up. Because you already know, right? Listen, big shout out to my man Martin at the Clothing Kings. All you guys can go to the clothingking.co.uk and get all your Pin to Gas merch. You get my man Jake's merch and get Luke Hedges merch. You want your truck wrapped, whatever it is, seek no further than the Clothing King. They are some of the best people in the world. And I can't thank you guys enough for all the love and support from the Clothing Kings. Martin, you're an absolute legend. Yeah, and I can't wait to meet you at Cadwell next year too. And then Wasim says it's an honor for us too, Jake, as to produce and supply you with leather racing suits for many years. Good luck from all us at Team RBS. Yeah, absolutely right. Who else am I forgetting? Big shout out to my man Chef Eats. He makes this food out here in America. It's 3 minutes and 30 seconds. The best meals you ever had. He can custom make them, design, or whatever your diet is. They are proper go fast meals. Forget the Hello Fresh. Forget all that other stuff. Chef Eats is where it's at. Chef Eats is what you want, right? Big shout out to my man from Vet Do Track. What he does is amazing too. He takes veterans and brings them out to the track, and everybody's in a safe spot. And they learn how to ride, and it's nothing but love, right? So big shout out to Jim at Vet2Track. If I have any vet friends out there or any in the military, active military, hit me up. I'll put you direct contact with them, and you will have a proper mega time. Let us turn you on to the most beautiful, amazing sport there is, and let's get you guys out there on the track. Man, this has been a lot of fun, Jake. I always feel like I need to write down all my shout outs, right? But I need to put the names down. But I feel like if I did that, it'd be monetized, kind of like it's just like a robot saying it. So I like to switch it up. But before I get off here, big shout out to my man, Julian Carrera in the British Talent Cup, Club 40. Listen, another legend, absolute proper legend. Keo, man, I can go on here for days and days and days of all the friends. But listen, thank you guys so much for all your love and support. If you have not yet, go to my YouTube channel, go to all my places, and please like and subscribe. It helps me out a tons. I really appreciate all you guys. Thank everybody that watches and that watched this video today. It will be out everywhere but Apple because I needed a new computer because it's just a bunch of shit behind that. But anyway, thank you guys so much. You guys are absolutely amazing. And listen, it's an honor to have my mate Jake Marsh back on the podcast. The absolute legend, baby. RD Racing, the Clothing Kings. Let's go. You guys keep an eye out on BSB Barmy Army and Jake's social media. And yeah, we can't wait. We're excited. So listen, guys, thank you guys so much. And Jake, you have anything to say before we go?
I missed my dad. Thank you, Dad.
And Peter, mate, I love you.
But hope everyone has a great evening and a great week, and I'll catch you guys soon.
Absolutely. And I will be at Road America this weekend coming up for Moto America. So all my Moto America friends, I will see you this weekend, and I can't wait. All right, bud. Dude, that was good. That was a lot of